So this is an interesting update. Remember Jalen Hurd, who took the 49ers by storm in the 2019 preseason against the Cowboys with a couple touchdowns, but then never appeared in a regular season game because of constant injuries? It looked like he was done with the NFL after the 49ers cut him in 2021. Well, Jalen Hurd has just tried out for the Houston Texans. And remember, the Texans have a 49ers related coaching staff because D'Amico Ryans is the head coach there, and the offensive coordinator is Bobby Slowick. Slowick had been with Shanahan since the very start with the 49ers, and his first season after doing some work with the 49ers defense on the offensive side of the ball was in 2019 as an offensive assistant. That's the season the 49ers drafted Jalen Hurd in the third round out of Baylor. Hurd had previously been a power running back at Texas, and then he was a wide receiver at Baylor. So you can see now, especially with the benefit of hindsight, what the 49ers were thinking. Positionless skill position players. They had a guy who was a power back in the SEC and then a wide out in the Big 12. They wanted him to do both. Obviously, it didn't pan out with Jalen Hurd, but I think the 49ers ended up getting everything they wanted and more from Jalen Hurd out of Deebo Samuel, who's a wide receiver who can be a power back, right? And Christian McCaffrey to a lesser extent, maybe even to a greater extent. Christian McCaffrey is a good back, but he's also a wide receiver. The point of this Kyle Shanahan offense and the goal of the construction that we've seen from John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan over the years has been to establish players at every single skill position, all 5 eligibles, that can do multiple different things. George Kittle can take a handoff. George Kittle can be a wideout. He can also block. He could be a tight end. I mentioned McCaffrey. I mentioned Deebo Samuel. Kyle Juszczyk has been a great example. 49ers picked him up all the way at the start in 2017. Jalen Hurd was another shot. He was another dart throw at the wall. That throw missed, obviously, because of injuries. First, it was a back injury in the 2019 season that sidelined him from then for that year. And then in 2020, showed back up at training camp and tore his ACL. Tried to play in 2021, but just didn't look like the same guy. Didn't look as big and strong as he was before. And, you know, the fact that Deebo Samuel became what the 49ers wanted Jalen Hurd to be and more does make some sense because they picked him in the second round of the 2019 draft as opposed to the third round for Hurd. So you'd think they value Deebo Samuel more. But Deebo just has a better body type to withstand the beating that the NFL will put on a multi-positional weapon like this in Kyle Shanahan's offense. Deebo Samuel is shorter and stockier, and I think Jalen Hurd, who was like 6'3", 6'4", already had that power back mileage on him. You could see how some of those back issues could come into play. The reason running backs are typically a little bit lower to the ground. But best of luck to Jalen Hurd. Maybe he needed some time off to heal his body, and we'll see if a system that's similar to the 49ers system with the Houston Texans, with Bobby Slowick now there being the offensive coordinator. He obviously is familiar with Jalen Hurd from the past. We'll see if he can make the team and maybe contribute for them. You always have to pull for players who put their bodies on the line, right? And Jalen Hurd as a power back in the SEC and then as a receiver in the Big 12 definitely put his body on the line playing this sport of football. But it is a good full circle illustration of what the 49ers had long tried to build as far as positionless skill positions go and what they've built. They might have one of the NFL's best offenses this year, and a large part of that's going to be Kyle Shanahan's play calling combined with these guys who could do multiple different things on the football field. While Hurd didn't work out for them, Deebo Samuel has, Christian McCaffrey has, Kyle Juszczyk has, George Kittle has. Hey, Ray McLeod did some stuff last year, and Brandon Ayuk, he's a versatile guy as well. So you take and throw as many darts at the wall as possible in the team building process, and you hope that your hit rate is high enough. So far, the 49ers hit rate has indeed been high enough.